Hi there, everybody. How's it going? Hopefully, everybody enjoyed the video of Nellie looking out the window.
Well, what I want to know is, was she laying on the back of the vertical couch cushions?
Yes, she like kind of wedges in between there. It's like it's now been curved out, where she has like her favorite spot where she gets in.
Yeah.
So she's just like in there, and yeah, I mean, she just goes.
So I assume like the backs of the cushions are like stitched to the back of the chair, so there's no like big gap.
Yeah, she's not gonna fall down in there. It kind of goes down in, and then it's like stitched to it.
So did she figure out that spot on her own, or was she like set there and be like, oh hey, do you like this? Or was she just like, oh, I want to get up on the back of the couch? She
definitely found it on her own.
Oh wow!
She got up there, and she loves to go up there because she can look out for rabbits in the backyard. She gets really riled up if she sees like a rabbit or a squirrel in the backyard, and she like starts like growling and stuff. And she like wants to go out, and we got to put her on like on the tie out, and she like runs out and chases it away.
Wow.
Yeah, she gets real protective about that. It's just one of those situations where she doesn't even know what she'd do if she caught it. You know?
Sandy went to the groomer for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
This week, she went to a different one because the old one closed. Come here, Sandy. Come
to
look.
The spa.
Come over here and say
Nellie, she did make her own indentation spot.
Oh. I mean, y'all probably can't really tell too much that. You know,
I can tell. You can see it. She's
her legs have less like excessive hair dangling off them, and there's less of her
looks
beard here.
I think she looks like more poofy than normal.
Hang on, I keep accidentally having audio on. There we go.
Right.
But yeah, like so they told me that she like bared her fangs at the dryer and like tried to lunge at it, like I cave and I can't. I mean, I knew she didn't like that, but I can't. It's so hard for me to imagine her being like aggressive to something.
Yeah.
So I mean, she like gets real rowdy with her toys, but I mean they're toys. Like she's not feeling threatened by them, right?
Right. Yeah.
Or annoyed by them, and either through annoyance or perceived threat, apparently she was just like the dryer. Yeah. So he says they just put her under a fan instead. She was still a little wet when I picked her up.
Hopefully everybody here tonight, hopefully everybody's doing okay. It's been kind of a crazy like last few days. Hopefully everybody's safe, everybody's family is safe. Hopefully was not too impacted by the hurricane. We have had a lot of rain here. Like it's just crazy to me that the hurricane was so big that we were getting like the outer parts of it, like the outer bands of it, like when it was just like coming on shore in Florida. And that's like we've had like a serious drought here. Like everybody's lawns were dead because I think that we only got like rain, like very, very little bits of amount of rain a couple of times during the summer, and it wasn't even enough to like bring it all back.
I mean, we had, I feel like we had a lot of rain this summer. I feel like the grass was actually quite uncharacteristically green, I would say, in my neighborhood.
Yeah. Does this show going on still in the?
Some people said yes, and some people said no. So I'm confused.
Okay, so I mean, if some people said
going on for me,
okay.
Did you like have to fix that or something?
No. I mean, I just put it up really early today. I think I put the stream up like around like 1 o'clock or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know why some people see it that way. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it rained a lot here, but it wasn't anything like ultra crazy. I mean, it was harder rain, and I had like electrical problems like 2-ish weeks ago,
Right.
whenever that was. Had a lot more issues then. So yeah, for me, it wasn't that bad. But the first that I actually was aware that it hit Asheville area so much was people in our Discord was like, oh, LGR posted a message and apparently his property did not fare very well. And then I looked up and saw just how crazy things are there. To be honest, I didn't even know like a hurricane could hit like the mountains very hard. I mean, it's the mountains, right?
Right. Yeah.
You would think it wouldn't be a big problem, but especially also being further west. But gosh, it's really horrible looking.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Like Asheville is just
does all right.
Completely wrecked. Yeah, I know that Clint like lost a bunch, and I wonder how extensive it was because I know that like he has all that stuff, and if it just like is gone, I mean, I can't even imagine dealing with like.
Well, I think a lot of his stuff is in storage.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything.
Well,
if the storage units are underwater.
Well, right, but who knows if they are?
Right. But I mean, he had a lot of stuff in his house as well. Yeah, I mean, if that stuff is completely underwater, I mean, some of these things, these photos that I saw, just like the complete outskirts of it is just like underwater.
Like, yeah, but I mean, that might not be what happened. I mean, we don't know enough details of what happened at his house. I mean, it sounded like there was a recent update that some people were posting who got message from him somehow, saying like it sounded like a lot of trees had fallen on his property.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if flooding affected him personally or not. But I mean, I remember my grandma. I don't know if it was hurricanes or not, but there would be times where the river would, or I think she called it the creek. The creek would flood. And she, it would be, or she'd say it was risen. The creek was risen, and she couldn't like get into town, but she lived like a good ways up, like a little bit of a mountain. So like, depending on where your property is, you're probably safe from flooding, but it can still get places like more at the foot of a mountain. So but yeah, that's it. It looked pretty crazy. I hope it's all okay. My parents were going to go up there probably this week originally, but now would not be the best time. It seems. I'm sure they're going to delay that a week or two.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, I heard stuff about like different like dams were like so full that like they were potentially gonna like burst.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean it's been raining here like pretty nonstop also, but like I said, we had like a crazy drought like all summer long, and like it was like the ground was so dry that like the water was like not absorbing in, I guess. So luckily I'm on a hill, but I mean there was pretty bad like elsewhere, but not nearly as bad as like most people have been dealing with. But I hope everyone's okay. I assume that if you're here, that means you're probably okay.
Well, you've got some form of power and internet, presumably.
Right.
So.
So yeah, I thought I'd play some Double Dragon Advance. I'd mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, saying like, oh, I should play this.
You've been on a bit of a GBA kick this year, at least in terms of buying. I don't know about playing, but
yeah. I mean, I got this one I think at the Midwest Gaming Classic, and it's something I'd wanted for a while. And it's expensive when you get like the box with it, obviously, but just cart only was not so bad.
Yeah. By the way, I'm noticing how there's a little bit cut off the top and bottom here. You know what I started doing on the 16:9 layout? I've started just putting the window on top of the TV instead of behind the mask, because why? You know, there's no need for it to be cropped by the frame, really, right? It's all black. It's black anyway, right?
Yeah, that's all right. So this is kind of a cool like remake of Double Dragon, the arcade version, with a bunch of like added levels, like a bunch of added moves from like future games.
So you can do 2-player link play?
I guess so.
Wait, what is 1P Dragon game and 1P Double Dragon game? Do you have like an AI partner or something?
I don't know. Should I try it?
I guess.
I mean, I probably won't beat it, but you know, I'll try. I'll try it. I'm gonna try it normal, and then we'll try it afterwards. We'll try the 1P Double Dragon.
Well, Mr. Dude is saying a loose car. This is around 60. You got a good deal, didn't you?
I mean, I feel like it was right around like $50 to $50 or so.
I mean, this is considered a pretty darn good version, I think.
Yeah. This is there's a Double Dragon collection that came out, and I think that Limited Run had it also, but it was like also out like on PlayAsia for a while, and this version is included in there. Like
really?
Like a Double Dragon collection, yeah.
Oh, so it's different from the Double Dragon Kunio-kun collection, which is only
right. There is a second. There's it was on Unlimited Run a while ago, but it's also available via PlayAsia.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that because I think I ignored that because I didn't think it was anything. But yeah, I'm very interested in this version for sure.
It's a lot more playable, and I played it earlier just to kind of get a feel for it. So it's very easy to lose a whole bunch of lives in certain sections, and hopefully I can avoid that.
I'm guessing this doesn't have like the leveling up mechanic from the NES version.
Right.
There was either right when we started or right before we started, a notification that Enchilada has been a member for 11 months in a row.
Whoa. Almost a year.
Almost, getting close. Saying, ahoy, gentlemen. I hope you have fun with Double Dragon Advance. It's quite the classic. Have a great evening and get them beats.
Heck yeah. Speaking of beat, I played after. I was looking for something real short to play through, so I played through Euphoria the Saga 2.
Oh, how was that?
It was like super, super easy.
Yeah.
And it's like a good 3 or so hours long.
So
very
short.
good. Yeah, oh yeah, super short, but like well worth it. Like well worth just playing, especially if you played the other ones or the other one.
I still have not. I've not beaten the original.
Well, I mean, it's probably okay if you play this one first because I mean it doesn't really matter. It's a prequel.
Oh, it's a prequel. Okay, is that known like before you beat it, or
no? It's not. I'm sorry, but like just in that, it's just kind of a fun.
In that context, the kind. I mean, yeah, I understand. Like that kind of makes me feel like maybe, especially if it's like so short and easy, and the NES version is probably harder. Like it probably actually makes sense to play that one first.
It has a really, really great look to it. Have you even booted it up or anything like that?
I have.
So it has like a very it's almost like Yoshi's Crafted World or something like that.
Right, like it's almost like felt.
Yes.
Like felt cutouts like stitched to the background or something.
But
right?
it's a little bit. It's just very crisp in this, and like I looked at it and I was just playing. I'm like, man, like I could really imagine like a Donkey Kong Country remake looking like this. It almost has like a CG, like a fake CG felt look to it.
Well, that interests me. I should try it. Try going through it soon then.
And the music, of course, is really good. There's not a whole lot of music. But the music, I feel like it does a really good job of sounding like an NES game. Like the compositions feel a lot like an NES game's compositions.
Well, it has like the like at least like first area music from the original.
I'd have to I should replay the original to see like if how many songs carry over. But it really feels like it sounds like a NES game. So this game has like the block and reversal that Super Double Dragon has. It has the like the flying knee and uppercut from 2. It has like dashes and it just a very like this is easily like if you're gonna play the original, like this is the original, like the best way to do it. And it also has a whole bunch of levels, a bunch of new levels and enemies and stuff.
There was a $2 super chat from Dad1153. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying Atari Lynx port is the only version of Double Dragon I've played. Have you played that one? I know you were a bit of a Lynx kid.
Right, but I did not play it. I
That's
feel like
the
around
lowest
that
resolution version of the game.
yeah, around that time, I think that like the first game was pretty like played out. I think, you know, like I liked it. I played it on the Master System, and of course in the arcade. But I feel like out of those like original ones, like the NES game was definitely like the best out of those originals.
Yeah. In a lot of ways, like Double Dragon was the Skyrim of its day.
Yeah.
Just getting ports on everything.
Yes. See, these guys in the suits are new. And you can go through lives pretty quick at times. So I've not seen the new game sack. I have been like super hard at work at this tour video. Like I wanted it to be out. Like I was really hoping it was going to be like Tuesday. Like I will say right now, like it is imminent. It'll be out this week. I just don't know what day. I really wanted it to be out on Tuesday because that's the 11th anniversary of the launch of the channel, which I think would be awesome. I'm gonna try to make it.
I mean, no one's really gonna care if
nobody's gonna know.
If it coincides with that day, but you know, it's a good goal to shoot for.
Yes.
One
of my favorite things, like, so let's see if I can knock something down here. If you like knock them down, you can do this like a Bruce Lee's type, like jumping on them. Where you like jump down on their chest. But that is the it's gonna be out this week. And that's what I've not watched the new game stack because of that.
I watched most of the new game sack while I was eating dinner, but up through the Saru cart part.
Oh, okay.
But I did hear people saying the skid is very good, but I didn't you know I had restraint and did not jump ahead. I'm going to wait till I finish it. Because I'm wondering if it's going to be something involving that walrus golf guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's several times in the episode, like even before he was talking about the Saturn, he had multiple gags with that guy already.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering if it's going to be something to do with that. No spoilers, people. We'll see.
Yeah. The walrus guy. Jeez.
Craig Statler, that's it.
I like that sometimes you just hit these people and they'll just drop this dynamite. Just like flies out of him.
I beat oh wait, before I do that, let me do one more super chat, because there is one more super chat. I thought I caught up, but I had not. There was $10 from Tenderbrew.
Ooh.
Saying, "Sup dudes, missed a few live, but happy to be here. And loving the content though. Using my chat to shout out Uniracers, an all-time SNES classic that Pixar should be shamed for destroying." That's right. There was that whole stupid thing about how they like. I don't remember exactly what the outcome was. Like I think like the game had to. They had to stop selling the game at some point due to like them claiming that like anything that's like a CG unicycle, like they own or could be confused with. I don't know, kind of stupid. Whoa, that guy like disintegrated and his clothes fell.
Oh,
Is that what all characters are doing?
That's how Burnoff always dies. I think that he wasn't originally in the first game. He's only in the.
Oh, okay.
He's only in 2, but he's become this iconic character for the series.
Well, I'm not familiar with him. Also, this cutscene with him at the end is hilarious. You talk too much. That's all the information I need. Anyway, I love Uniracers, and as far as I know, it's still a cheap game. Which, given that 1, it's Nintendo published, 2, it's got the cool history of it's from the developer that became Rockstar. It's rather surprising that, and given that it was, I think taken off the market, if I remember correctly, it's surprising that it's not a expensive game. I think it's still pretty easy to get, luckily, because it's good. I like it a lot. Like it's I'm normally like not that into like trick systems in games. The way it's integrated in Uniracers, I think it has a good, a great balance of risk reward. And you get your little burst of speed if you know how many tricks you do while you're in the air and stuff. And it's I really enjoy it. I think it's a great game. I am with you on that, Tenderbrew.
Put those down. I want that.
But speaking of beating games, I beat God of War Ragnarok yesterday.
Nice.
I had no idea until Digital Foundry put up their video. I had no idea that I was just coincidentally playing it at the same time that the PC version's coming out.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize that was a thing either.
Yeah, I had no idea that was coming out, or at least coming out at the same time. I mean, it could have been out a year ago for all I know. I just not something I really paid attention to. But it was good. I enjoyed it. But would you believe, granted, I did, a lot of side content, but would you believe it was 45 hours for me to beat it?
Dang.
And then I don't know, I put in maybe 4 more hours into some post-game stuff. The post-game stuff wasn't very good, I didn't think. There's a new DLC mode though that seems pretty good. Like a free DLC mode that has roguelite elements.
Right.
Or it is a roguelite. It is an entire roguelite. Which I mean seems pretty neat, honestly. I think it's a good fit for the game, actually. But it just between how long it was, and don't get me wrong, it was good. I think there are definitely areas where they could have probably trimmed it down, because in what universe do God of War games need to be the same length as Final Fantasy 16 or something, right?
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, the game was good, and I only did the side content because I was enjoying it. Like, I enjoyed the side content. Like, in some ways, some of the side content was like better than like the main quest stuff. Like, it's very much takes like a page out of Dark Souls book, where like stuff that you don't have to do is still just like as well designed as everything else, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like there's like huge regions, like probably like half of the game world, like you don't even have to go to, you know, like that's
like that much you don't even have to go to.
I mean, probably close to it. Yeah, I'd say probably close to it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, which I have a lot of respect for that, you know, like putting that kind of effort into stuff that the players might not even see, right?
Yeah.
You know, I think there's something to be said for that. You know, it was good side content. Like and some of the side content's less good. Like I thought the post game stuff was not that good. I mean, there was like a little epilogue before the real credits trigger, which kind of actually left things in a surprising place. I'm surprised they left them there. And as far as I've seen, like looking things up, like no other content like resolves.
Yeah, that's it. See, I thought that this was like gonna end it.
Well, yeah, there's, I mean,
at least for this mythology,
they could. Yes, I think that is the case. But there's like, I won't give any specifics, but there is like one character whose arc they have left in a really surprising place. That from what I looked up, like none of the side quests or the DLC, like nothing resolves that character's story, and
oh, come on,
it ends up in an unexpected. That particular character's story ends up in a very unexpected spot. I was surprised to not see further resolution there. But anyway, like it got me thinking about how like I don't understand so much about the economics of games today. Like I don't know. It's just it's weird because like everything seems to be focused on like how do we keep them in this game longer, right?
But you keep on playing the game,
right? But like mostly like that applies to like games as a service type games, right?
Yeah,
like where people are like going to be like spending money on optional you know, cosmetics or pay to win stuff or something, right? And like, you know, don't get me wrong, I appreciate how extensive the content in the game is, but I don't understand like how it was worth putting that much into it when, you know, the game still could have and would have been sold for $70 and people would have been probably satisfied with less, or at least I would think they would be. I guess there's probably a vocal enough contingent that wouldn't be. But also, like, they released this free roguelike DLC. Like, what does that gain them? Like obviously people appreciate it. Mm-hmm. I mean, it but like, how do you, like, it's nice that they did it. Don't get me wrong. That's awesome. That's a cool gesture. But did it gain them anything?
It didn't gain them anything.
Did it gain them? What did it get? Like, what? Like, it's hard for me. Like, I would love to hear the explanation. Like, I'm not saying there's no justification, no like financial justification for it, because I don't understand. Economics is a very weak area for me. I don't understand. Just how the money of the world works makes no sense to me. But I would just be curious to hear the explanation of like, okay, you are a guy at Sony approving the budget that goes into development and QA and all this stuff for this free DLC that's like a completely separate mode, and like what makes you say, all right, green light that?
I think that it probably is not so much that. I bet it's just them kind of just seeing how far they can stretch the engine that they've made, or like how far they can stretch.
I mean, maybe
with the minimal amount of effort.
I mean, and perhaps that's the. I mean, I can't remember where I heard this, and I don't know if this is like definitely the case or if it's just speculation. But like, you know, all of the kind of needless, remasters and remakes that have come about, like stuff like Horizon Zero Dawn, right?
Yeah.
Like that is not necessary at all. You know, The Last of Us Part 2 did not need a native PS5 version. Stuff like that. I read it said somewhere that like a big part of it is just like it's a way of like onboarding new employees.
That dude
like
just dumped down the hole.
But like that makes sense to me. If like some of these like projects are kind of a way of like onboarding new employees, that could make sense to me. And it's just like, okay, here's a thing for you guys to do. Get used to our engine, get used to our workflow, get used to, you know, our particular standards of art and design and stuff like that. While, you know, the main team goes off and is like working on pre-production for the next game or something like that. And like that's like a worthwhile use of their time, and they can also still turn that into a product of some kind, whether it's something free or paid, I guess. I mean, that makes sense in a way, but like still like it just like I'm just like, what? Like just with the way that the games market works these days, and it's all about like maybe I'm overthinking it, where I'm like trying to make an equivalence of the length of God of War Ragnarok and the free DLC. I'm like just thinking like, oh, they're just trying to keep you in that game where you pay absolutely nothing extra for them to stay in that game. And I don't know. It's just, I don't know. AAA games, man, they don't make no sense.
I mean, I just assume that it probably doesn't. It costs very little for them to do that, and it could be like very much. Yeah, you might be right. Like it being an onboarding for people just joining up, or
that could make a lot of sense.
Just like it's just dynamite flying out of people.
There was a notification that Legendary K4 has been a member for 20 months in a row.
Dang.
Thank you. Saying crazy find at the flea market the last week. Well, I found a stack of SNES games I walked past somehow. 6 games for $20, which included Demon's Crest.
Oof.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, great game. Great game. Have you played that?
Is a great... Oh yeah. That was I remember you know, it's kind of funny because I remember this was early Backloggery days. This was back when Drum still lived in Indiana. And he like went to, I think it was like one of those, remember when we went to Indianapolis to interview Kevtris for the Super NT stuff? You, me, and John went to,
that pizza
was
place.
it Disc Replay? Is that what it was called?
Oh, yeah. Was it Disc Replay? Yeah, it may have been.
Yeah, I think that's where Drum was at one of those. And he called me. He's like, "Oh, hey, dude, they got two Demon's Crests. You want one?" I'm like, "Heck yeah!" They were 30 or 35 bucks, I think. This was probably like 2008 ish, 2007, 2008, between 2007 and 2009, I'd say. Like, heck yeah. And then when I was, we went to the disc replay with John.
Oh.
I was like, oh hey, I think this chain was where Drum found both of our Demon's Crests. He's like, my sister found Demon's Crest at disc replay in Indiana. It's like, okay, like,
guess that's the place.
I guess Indiana is just like where all the Demon's Crests are.
Oh, I didn't know you can get on top of them and punch their faces.
Oh. like in a modern game like God of War, you would expect like it to bring up like, the punch button prompt after you grab them if you could do more damage.
You can set the amount of lives and stuff you have.
Are you I mean, how do you feel you're doing?
I don't know. I mean, there's been 2 new levels already, so.
Yeah, I mean, you've been at it a good bit. I think you're doing pretty good.
But I only got 2 more credits left, so.
You know what I pre-ordered only because like I saw there was like a 30% off Quest coupon, and also that the pre-order on Triangle Strategy was already some percentage off, and I wanted to see if I could combine them.
There's a $30 coupon?
Or like a Quest Plus $30 coupon. Do you still have?
Okay. So I signed up for that Quest Plus. Yeah. Okay. Oh, so maybe I've gotten that. I think I might use it to get Riven though.
Oh, okay.
Because that's 35, I think, on Quest.
Yeah, I think it was like I forget what it was. I got a notification for it on my phone. I tried to see if I could find it like on my like in my email, and I didn't find it. I'm already drawing a blank on what it was, but I got the notification just on my phone. And anyway, I wanted to see if it wouldn't combine, but I was like, I'm going to pre-order this Triangle Strategy anyway, just to get a little bit of a discount.
Mm-hmm.
You should wait though, and I will if you have an interest in it.
I don't have a ton of interest in it, unfortunately.
Okay.
Like it's neat that that's like being done, but
I mean, I still haven't played it, and I feel like it's probably going to look a lot better in there than on the Switch anyway. Like I really like the idea of it.
I was having too much fun to notice what Mr. Justice.
Huh?
So Coury was having too much fun to notice. I must have missed something. Why does this look like a Lynx game? What? It looks like a Game Boy Advance game.
Yeah, it's a game. It does not look like a Lynx game.
Yeah. If you think it looks like a Lynx game,
Lynx is like barely over. Like, what's the Lynx resolution? Is like 104p or something like ridiculously small.
Yeah, it's something like
it's barely over 100p. I mean, this is what 160p. I'm pretty sure is GBA.
Well, I think that's what I'm going to do for because if you're working on this setup video yourself. Like your version of it, and I have to have once we have another sponsorship. Or whatever. I was thinking about doing that Game Boy Advance remake video.
Oh, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. Yes, that's a great idea.
So,
because I think you have a lot more.
Well, it's just 3 things, but I can
things like Like what was it? Was it a Sega game specifically, or
No, just Game Boy Advance remakes of games. Like it
like
was just
full on remakes?
yeah,
Not port remakes.
right. Like there's this one. There's a River City Ransom EX.
There's this.
Yeah, this, and there's like the Shining Force remake. I'm sure plenty of others that I can't think of off that.
I feel like you've got more than that. You know what might also be an interesting thing is like GBA demakes or like GBA like games that were like releasing on consoles, and here's like a GBA.
Yeah,
version.
that might be cool because like Max Payne is really good. It's kind of like an isometric.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Pretty well
Like
done.
the 007 Nightfire is like a 3D full on 3D engine.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, Metroid Zero Mission is. There's probably so much that's already been like what more can you say about that game?
Right.
that game's probably a little overdone. That's a good example. Maybe something to use on.
Oh come on! I knew I was going to go the wrong way.
Maybe something to use on the in the intro or something.
Yeah.
With the Final Fantasy GBA count, I would say no.
Because they're kind of it's almost like a porter of the PS1 version, which was the
which
like
is
the
a port of the
WonderSwan.
WonderSwan version.
Yeah.
And then like 4, 5, and 6, like they have like some, like I think the battle backgrounds are redrawn, but like aside from that, they are, even though they have like new content, they are more or less ports. They use like we're talking games that are like pretty much entirely different, like ground up remakes. Like I mean, sure, it's still sprite based and stuff, but it's.
But this is this right here is a complete remake of the game.
Right. If there is any remnants of the original game's code, it's not it's not obvious. There is more here that is unlike the original version.
Yeah. So that's probably what I'll do when I finish with this. When I finish with the tour video. They're like bringing out all the different colored Abobos here. There's a silver and gold Abobo.
People are talking about Smashing Drive. I'm not familiar with that. Tony Hawk.
Yeah, Tony Hawk is like an isometric one too. It's really good looking.
SSX Tricky and SSX 3.
So maybe remakes and demakes. Like could be almost like put them both in a video.
Well, I mean separate video. I would say separate videos.
Yeah. Oh, demakes definitely have more. There's gonna be more of those.
Right, and a lot of that is going to be like a lot of licensed stuff too. I would imagine. Like, I mean, I don't know if it's fair to call that a demake, but like there like an equivalent product came out on GameCube and PS2 and Xbox, and here's the GBA.
Well, all I care about is getting this tour video done. It's going well. I will say that it's.
Yeah, I mean, you told me you had like 52 minutes already locked down last time.
Not locked down. No, I wish that I had 52 minutes locked down. But I mean, that is what the runtime is for everything now. But as I've been going, I'm like, oh, I want to mention this. So at the end of each like little part, I'm like, here's some like little odds and ends that I want to mention, so that I can just insert those afterwards, or like after I finish with everything else that I feel like needs to go in there, just like little this and that's.
I really like how over the top the art and the cutscenes in this are.
Yeah,
it's like kind of silly, but in a good way. I also saw, and Kebab's point out, this was a good point. GameSack did a topic of 3D games that went 2D because they were ported to handhelds. Stuff like Tomb Raider, Crash, and Croc. Yeah, that was an interesting one. There was a $5 super chat from EB Chill 2. Thank you. Saying, hey Coury, are you going to try SkyGunner on the PS5? Seems to play pretty well, but I'm no expert. Take care, everyone. Yeah, we were talking about that last week, like wondering if if holding the button combination for the 240p mode does anything.
Yeah, I wonder if that is an option.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I definitely plan on buying it just because I want to support also that, like, that was even released. I think that's great.
Yeah. I mean, I should get it as well. I feel that would be like a actually useful one for me to grab.
Yeah.
Like, just because I only have the Japanese version anyway, so like that would be a good one for me to grab, just for testing purposes, if nothing else. You know, I was looking at the PSN page for Mr. Mosquito.
Oh yeah, which would be another good one to get.
The screenshots look to me like kind of 480p quality. Like it didn't look rendered in high res.
Well, that's kind of how I felt about.
Oh, is that how Sly Cooper was?
I kind of felt like it looked like that. It did not look like it was rendered higher.
Interesting. I just assumed that. I mean, I would probably generally be in favor of them sticking with the original resolution.
Yeah.
Honest.
So I don't know if this is the last level. I feel like there's going to be an unexpected last level, but I'm not going to make it. But what I might do is, I know there's a difficulty in a lives thing, just to like, so we can see the whole game. So maybe what I'll do is if I beat this, maybe I'll just buy that SkyGunner and we can check it out together.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Oh, by the way, Kebabs, I got all but 2 of the Ravens and God of War Ragnarok on my own, and so I was like, well, I may as well finish getting them if I'm that close. And I looked up a guide that I saw you contributed to, which kind of helped me narrow down which ones I probably missed. Well, yeah, that's right, EVCho. Your TV is going to say 2160p, but the question is, what is it rendered at internally? Because obviously the PS5 doesn't change resolution based on what the game is doing. It changes based on what you set it in settings to do. Or, you know, even if it's on automatic, if your TV can do 2160p, it's going to be 2160p. I'm talking about the internal resolution. Unfortunately, you can't set PS5, although I guess you technically could for a like a safe mode, like do 480p, but it wouldn't be 4.3. So I don't think there would be any way you could actually get like 480p out of the system and then upscale through the RetroTink or something like that.
Who are these guys? I can't even see them because they're off the screen. The nunchucks and the sticks
all the
are
collectibles
like,
in Ragnarok logged before release. Nice. I mean, you're right at the end of the game, right?
I don't know. We got Machine Gun Willie. No, it's gonna dump all these.
I mean, this looks like near what I remember being the end of the game.
Yeah. I think his name is Machine Gun Willie.
That guy in the black suit, like, he kind of just looks like your generic like main dude from like yeah. I can never keep the main dude in Virtua Fighter and Tekken straight. But you know, just like your generic like box, the main guy, whatever the heck his name is in this series. Whoa. Kazuma.
Oh yeah. Kazuya.
Yeah.
The music here is kind of awesome. I mean, this guy is not like it's not Machine Gun Willie right here. This guy's just...
Oh, Mr. Sensini Play says that's a Double Dragon 2 song.
Oh. It's kind of awesome. I mean, the second Double Dragon is a lot better than the first one.
I have not watched anything Armanado about the Yakuza pirate game, just because like I don't know if there could be implied spoilers for other games or anything, or if it's like connected to the new one, which I know is in Hawaii. I love the title though. I mean, it sounds like it is what it says on the tin, you know. Yakuza Pirates in Hawaii, or
Yeah.
Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii?
Yeah. I just want to see if I can make it to Machine Gun Willie. Unless I wouldn't imagine they changed the last boss in this. I would be very surprised, at least.
You know, it's still so weird to me because I have still only played Yakuza 0, and it's like so weird to me that like Majima is like considered like the wild crazy dude.
Oh, because
in the series, because like he's.
Ooh. I mean, that seems like it could be... That seems like a last boss finishing blow.
Whoa.
But they wouldn't change the last boss of this. What great skill. It's Raymond. His name is Raymond. Willie and the girl are both behind that door. She'll meet again. Only next time I'll... Willie!
Wow, that's...
Okay, so
Lee
this is the real
with
one.
rage.
This is the real last level here.
Alright.
Because this is This is the music. I'm gonna get crushed here.
But anyway, yeah, it's just I don't know, it's weird to me that that Majima is like he doesn't, you know, he because like Zero, like you alternate playing between
right
Kiryu,
which seems really weird to me. But
yeah, but see, like this is the first one I play, right? And like I don't know, like Majima seems like a pretty level-headed dude. You know, maybe a little more easygoing than Kiryu, maybe, but like
yeah, well, that's what's kind of interesting about. Whoa, that's a lost signal. Okay, it's back. I don't know how that happened.
But like at the end, they at the end of the game, like they like show him, because they don't. Well, I mean, I shouldn't spoil anything, but like they show him like getting into his like, you know, what I guess became his iconic outfit, or at least his outfit from the first game or whatever. And like, you know, he like all of a sudden just seems like have a different personality.
I'm gonna put on.
And like it just I don't know. Like it's interesting to me because he seems different. It seems like he is but I don't know. I've not really seen him in those games. So I don't know if it's going to seem like a big shift in personality, but I don't know.
Oh, look at that. I don't know how this is. You can hit select to switch between characters.
Okay, but does he like move? Does he do anything?
I don't know.
What?
I don't really understand.
This is...
You can't just sit there and he's going to sit there and take... It's an interesting idea, but I'm going to give that...
It's like Resident Evil 0 except a brawler. Like you just have a character that just stands still.
You can fight each other though too.
Actually, I don't remember if Resident Evil 0, like, if the other character, like, will fight if you're in the same room.
All right, hang on. I'm going to reset it so that I don't have to play the whole game like
Because usually Resident Evil 0, you're more like splitting up. That's weird, though. That's just weird.
All right. Do that again. Without that. I'm just going to lower the difficulty, crank up the lives, and see if I can just see the end. So that we can see the end together.
There was a notification that Shadow Mask has been a member 35 months in a row.
Dang.
I don't know if this is a direct quote from something or he's just talking about Billy and Willie, saying, "I'm Big Billy, the biggest wet Willie."
I bet you easy mode does not let me play all the way through the game.
There was also a $10 super chat from Seabass Nap. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying, been a while. Congrats on Cincy clinching the Major League Soccer playoffs. Our team blows. Headed to Japan for vacation.
Ooh.
Might bring back a Sharp Twin Famicom from the off thrift store chain now that the yen is weak. Oh, I mean, you should bring back lots of stuff with the weak yen for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, have a good time with that trip. I am jealous. I want to come up with a good excuse to go back to Japan.
But I mean, I've like heard that like a lot of stuff is like picked over at this point too.
Well, probably to some extent, but I bet you would still find some good stuff. It might not be what it used to be. I mean, people were saying, like, when we were there, they're like, "Oh, you know, you don't get good deals in Tokyo." Well, okay, maybe you get better deals outside of Tokyo, but that's where we were, and it was still like cheaper, like 30% cheaper than eBay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's still worth it. But it's not just about whether it's picked over or not. It's the experience.
Yeah. It is funny though. It's like I feel as though like shopping for games has like lost a lot of its. I just feel like I'm burned out on that experience.
Sure.
That I like, you know, it's fun to go to like a.
I think doing it in a different country is different. Though.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I wish I didn't feel like that. But I mean, it's something that happens like every, 10 years to me, I think. Maybe 10, like 15 years or so. It feels like a lot of the excitement of like finding something. Because I mean, like we were talking about it in the Discord the other day. It's like I don't feel as though I am going to have an opportunity to play through most of the games I have. Even with unlimited free time, I don't think that I will have enough time to play through the stuff that I would want to play through.
Yeah.
And
but I think you definitely felt the bug when we were in Milwaukee.
Oh yeah, yes,
because you went nuts at Midwest Gaming.
It comes and goes, but sure. But like a lot of that, like going into it, I was not excited about it. But then it kind of hits like when you're there. But I don't know, like it's just. I feel like after I finish this tour video, like I feel like I will be reassessing like some of the things that I do have and feel like keeping around, I guess.
Sure. I mean, you know, it's natural to go through phases like that.
Yes.
Right? Like you don't experience something in a long time. You know, of course you're going to feel different about it than something that you do a lot. You know, you have, you know, fewer games, then you have more games, and maybe you've made some mistakes along the way. Like it's, of course you're going to go through phases, like feeling differently about it at one point or another.
Right. Oh, there he goes. You want to go down there too? Sure.
Sound like you're talking to Nelly. You want to go down there too?
Go on, get. And you just never know, I guess. Like I was like not gonna get that PS5 Pro, and like we both like tried for the 30th anniversary bundle.
Yeah,
like that was the only way I was gonna get it. And then, you know, how everything worked, like we didn't get it. But then you end up spending this time like waiting in line. And it's like, well, you know what? I guess I'll get the regular one since I've put so much time in it already. And I can still cancel it. But the thing is like now.
No. I was going to say you can still buy it.
Yes. Which, like, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we all knew that it was a limited appeal, device. I mean, you know.
Yes.
Obviously, yeah, you can still add it to your cart, which is like either they made a whole ton of them, or, I mean, it's made for very, very specific people. I mean, I don't know. Like it's like I don't know. It's such a complicated thing. Like, yes, it is extremely expensive. But like it's the kind of product that is aimed at me, right? Like someone who, you know, is all about console gaming and puts a lot of value on gaming, right? Mm-hmm. Like that is, you know, just going to be a thing that I'm willing to pay the price for. You know, so, but I don't know. It makes me think about how, you know, I was having some trouble. I recently added another HDMI switcher for daisy chaining, and I was having some handshake issues with the HDMI stuff. The other day when Drum was over here for movie night, and I was, you know, obviously, you know, Drum is, you know,
he's probably watching this and be like, is this like
all computer, all emulation? You know, you really just have one device that you use regularly.
Yeah. Right? So is he just saying, was he
Well, we're both like we're both equally glad we don't have the other setup, right? Like I don't want to deal with all the multitude of ways that he has to like do this with games and do that with games and get this on this screen and then capture this on this screen while streaming and then having to make sure the right thing is clicked into view. I like everything to be just through the device itself, through a capture card. But but I was saying like it's so like it blows my mind that if you want to do like video switching stuff, like you have to deal with these these no-name suspicious brands on Amazon, right? Like they are all just these like unpronounceable alphabet barf, right? Like all of these brands on Amazon, like there's no just like you don't get a Sony HDMI switcher or a Panasonic or a Philips HDMI switcher. And if you did, it would probably be like 3 inputs and like $200, right?
Yeah.
And like, so it's not viable. You can't avoid it. And it's just like, but that tells me like that like the market for people who want to like care about hooking up more than 4 things to their TV is like so small. And it just like blows my mind that like people don't care. Like people don't want to do more. They don't want to use like there's just like not that many devices they care about using.
Right.
Like I can't get my head in the mindset where like you care enough about games to play games, but you just have a PS5. And then, when the PS6 comes along, you're going to get rid of the PS5. Like you're okay with just having like one game system. One
like well, you can't wrap your mind around like just wanting one.
It's hard for me to understand caring enough about games to invest in it at all, and like feeling like you don't want to keep the things that you got hooked up and accessible and available to play.
Oh,
like
I mean,
I'm wording it.
I
poorly,
don't.
My point is, it is shocking to me that there isn't a bigger market for people that want to hook up more than 4 things to their TV.
I mean,
and that there's more products, better quality products with fewer issues and handshaking and stuff like that.
Jersey 117 is right. Like the people that only just want to have one thing hooked up and just like get the system that they like and then they play it. They're the normal ones.
You're right. But my point is, I have a hard time.
They probably think it's weird. There's like, why do you want to have all this stuff hooked up, especially when you're having like handshaking issues all the time? That's probably what drums like.
Sure. But like it.
I mean,
I have a hard time understanding normal, is what I'm saying. I have a hard time understanding normal. How can people not care about this thing I care so much about?
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say. Hard to get my head in that space.
I mean, it's just if we didn't do the channel, like I would probably be maybe like Mr. Only for retro consoles. Like I would keep the actual hardware and like the things that matter to me, but probably would just keep them in storage.
Yeah.
Which, I mean,
I can understand that.
Like obviously I'm not going to take all of this stuff down now. I mean, I don't even know what I would do with the space at this point. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, sometimes I think that, like, the people that can just, like, get that stuff and not care about it and just be happy, Like they're the lucky ones, really.
Oh sure, absolutely they are.
And they probably have other things that they're into. I don't know.
Sure.
I mean, like there's people out there that will buy like the newest system, and literally the only game that they'll buy every year is Madden.
Yeah.
Like for the entire duration of the console's life. They will buy a PS5 at launch just so they can get Madden, and then that'll be the only game that they buy every year. Do you think
there's anyone buying a PS5 Pro just for Madden?
There's got to be. I guarantee.
There's got to be at least someone. Yeah.
Guarantee it.
I mean, hey, you know, we've all got our passions.
Yeah.
And one of mine is hooking up all the things to my TV and wondering why. I mean, I blame a lot of it on my current Denon receiver. Like the old one had nowhere near as many issues.
Right.
Like that. Like, I don't think that
that's why I'm
majority of my problems are to blame on the switchers, because the switchers themselves have been good to me. And it was indicating that they were switched to the correct thing. I think the Denon, is the thing that's been good. Because I have issues with that even when I'm not running it through a more complex chain. This is the first complaint I have seen, but apparently the Double Dragon volume is really low.
Oh, I can fix
I mean, someone was able to identify the Double Dragon 2 song.
Let me know if that's any better, or if that's too loud now. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. And I've talked about this, I think, a lot over the years about how it just like does feel like it's always like something. Like, you know, if it's something not working in your setup, or if it's just like a new version revision that you got to like do all this setup for it. You know, I just like it's exhausting to do a lot of this stuff, I guess. And that's one of the main reasons I'm happy I didn't upgrade to HDMI 2.1, because 100%. I just would just
I even wrote in my script for my room tour that like you have the right idea.
Yeah, and you know what? And I don't have any handshaking issues. Like the way I have everything set up right now.
I mean, you did get a no signal on here for a brief moment.
Yeah, but I mean, for all we know, like that could be the GBA consolizer. I mean, I feel like I wish that the GBA consolizer like got more updates to like improve it. So what I want to know is like I know there's that GBA HD consolized system. Like, does that use original Game Boy Advance hardware? Because if that's the case, I might even consider like swapping mine out for that one. It feels like that one has more like it's more reliable, and it continues like to get updates. But I don't know if it's like it uses a real hardware or what.
There was a $5 super chat from Robert Hernandez. Thank you. Saying, regarding HDMI switchers, I'm with Try. I don't understand why we don't have quality options outside of expensive AV receivers, which are overkill. And, you know, I did buy a 3-input switcher with one output that was $200. It was the official Denon one that was really designed for like the previous generation of receivers that only had one HDMI 2.1 input. That's really what they're marketed as being for, you know, because they're like for using with select Denon switchers or select Denon AV receivers. It's like it's not for using with select Denon AV receivers. it's just an HDMI 2.1 switcher with your name on it. But it does seem like a good one, you know, and I use that in kind of a weirdly complicated way. that I will explain in my video. my video, like in terms of my downstairs setup, my video is basically like, here's how I do here's like, I can do everything with this setup. Don't do it like I do it. But the thing is, if you want to do everything, it's extraordinarily difficult. Like, if you want, like, this is probably like a clearer way to explain like my frustration or confusion over, you know, people caring about, you know, the normal people are just okay with XYZ. And, you know, I'm like, why are there not products that help me solve this problem, or more products that help me solve this problem, or better products to help me solve this problem better than is currently possible? If you want to have the full fat experience, if you want to play your game in HDR with surround sound, with 4K 120 hertz in VRR, and stream it is so extraordinary.
Yes.
And I don't understand why there's not more demand from just consumers being like, hey, I want more products that can help me reach this end goal of using all of the features of my console while streaming. You know, and you can do it. I do it, but it comes with caveats. It comes with caveats. And that's why you're really smarter for just sticking with HDMI 2.0, because you can easily do everything the HDMI 2.0 does while streaming. Although surround sound is still problematic. But,
see, I feel like as though I have surround sound like completely worked out in mine, and I can record and be able to play with surround sound.
Well, how do you do that? Out of curiosity.
I just like set my my splitter, like for my zone 2 that goes into my Ninja and my computer. I just set that to set the EDIT on there to allow for 7.1 or 5.1 surround.
Right, but do you actually what are you recording though? Are you
on the Ninja on the Ninja I can record all those channels if you wanted to.
But if you're streaming, you can only get. But if you're streaming, you can only get left and right. Like in the OBS, like you can play in surround sound, but if like voice is coming out of the center channel,
that's why if I need to record something with surround sound, I'll just use the Ninja. I find it very freeing to record and also record audio, like using my Zoom and just like through the mixer. Like I find that very freeing to be able to do that, like untethered from the
Zoom.
A Zoom, yeah. Like I have my mixer feed into my Zoom, so it just sends my audio.
You're using the Zoom for game recording?
No. I'm saying just like in terms of, I'm saying recording in general, like recording audio and stuff, like just not recording game audio, but recording voiceover. Just like I find it very fulfilling to be able to do everything without a PC if I wanted to. I record all my voice audio going through the mixer into the Zoom, but like that has nothing to do with game capture. That's just like for myself.
But I'm talking about game capture.
Yeah. I mean, so it's just
I'm always running into caveats where then
use your Ninja for that, because all you need to do is set it to record like the. Then that's if that's like too much, then like that's the solution. That's the solution to be able to have the best of both worlds.
I like to use interval recording, and you can't do that.
You can set the you can set it to record, like make a new recording every 5 minutes.
Yeah, but then it's going to just be too much data though. Like,
Then go through and just like randomly pick every other one and delete it. You can set it to be 1 minute recordings if you wanted to.
Maybe, I don't know.
But I mean,
Ninja
that you then you can. But then that's okay. Like, but that's the solution though. That's the solution to be able to get to achieve what you want to do. And I think it's nice to like not have to worry about potentially anything happening on your PC that makes you drop frames or something.
Sure, and that is why I use the Ninjas. You know, when I use it.
Yeah.
For that assurance, but like it's not a perfect solution. But like let's talk about streaming. Like if you wanted to play a game in surround sound, voices come out of the center channel. Like you just don't have clear voices on the stream, right? Like there's like I have tried, like I actually was using a couple of years ago.
You should be able to. I mean, I don't know how to do it, and every time I tried to do it, you can set up OBS to be able to like receive 5.1 channels, but I could never get it to work on the old.
Well, yeah, and there's like this whole caveat of like how much band. Like if you try to record discrete 5.1 channels, like you have to allocate like a ton of bandwidth or a ton of bit rate to them that you might not be able to do. Because like the bit rate gets divided across the channels and it sounds really bad. But I use the device.
But you can set it so it just, can you just do it so that it's 4 channels? So it's just like 1, 2, 3, and 4? Because usually that's like left and right, the center, and maybe the like LFE or whatever, like the lo-fi, or like the bass. Because that's what it is on the Ninja. All I have to do is record 4 channels. I don't have to record all the channels if I don't want to, because the center channel is on the second pair of recordings, or the second pair of audio tracks. But in terms of like the voices and stuff,
and then it gets.
I mean,
it gets annoying because.
I mean, you could always do like a. I feel like going into the mixer, it might, because it goes out of the Denon via left and right audio, but I think that might get mixed down, and I feed that into my mixer. So I think the only time that doesn't work is like on the PS3. For some reason, it like always screws up with that. Like where I just get like left and right with no voices.
Yeah, but like what I thought was going to be a great solution was this device that like takes like Dolby Surround and down mixes it to stereo output. But then like I started noticing that there's like this massive like something like 9 frame delay.
Oh, really?
Dolby audio, or at least with my receiver, with my receivers. I don't know, but like with the, I don't know if that's standard, but yeah. Remember when I got the PS5 version of Ease 8 and I was testing it out and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's like this massive audio lag in it.
Oh yeah, it is because of that.
And then, that was because of that, because I had been using this like Dolby like converter box that was working pretty darn good until I noticed the audio lag. And then it's like, well, I can't use it anymore.
Now that you've noticed it, it's ruined it.
Yeah. Can't do it anymore.
I don't know. That's why I prefer the Ninja, unless it's something that I need to record like something very specifically, like in like it's like the RGB color space. I don't know. It's nice to be able to do this stuff without having to worry about it.
Yeah.
At my computer,
I understand, but it's also just like it's loud. It runs so hot.
I mean, you can just do that where you set the segments to be a certain length and then just put it away.
Yeah.
Oops. I did not mean to jump off into the spikes.
Wow, at this point you still have 4 credits.
Yeah, it is easy mode is much easier.
I
think there's a few super chats.
Yeah. There was
chatting.
There was a $5 super chat from Jonathan Henson.
Oh,
thank you. Saying, I fantasize about shedding my consoles, CRTs, and games and going all digital with only PC, Mister, and emulation. I hope we can still be friends. I mean, you know, I get it. I get the appeal of streamlining these things. But even to the point when something is streamlined, it's hard for me to envision how can you still like cut this down to only 4 devices to connect to your TV? Like, how can people like I understand streamlining to a point, but how can you streamline it that much? 4 devices? That's a big ask.
But I mean, it's
big.
Yeah. I mean, it's like probably for most people, it's like a DVD player, a game system, and that's it. I mean, on the living room TV, like, you know, I guess we had a Roku up there, but now we just use the smart features of the TV. So it's really just an Xbox One in the living room, and that's. I don't even need an HDMI splitter. You can just literally, you don't even need the system selector because it has enough HDMI inputs on the system or on the TV to accommodate everything you need.
And then in response to Jonathan Henson's super chat, Justin Sisson had a $5 super chat saying, "Jonathan Henson, I cast thee out." Speaking of which, both Jonathan Henson and Scott Snyder like messaged me like almost like the same time, being like, "Hey, I'm sending you some beaver nuggets from Buc-ee's," and neither has arrived yet. I'm assuming like most likely like weather-related mail delays.
Yeah.
In my head, though, what I've been envisioning is like there's some sort of like, you know, like Trix commercial style shenanigans happening behind the scenes where like, you know, the Bucky Beaver is like dressed up as a postal worker, like, all right, I'm finally going to get some of those beaver nuggets, and keeps getting foiled, but also keeps delaying my package in the process of his elaborate ruses to get a hold of some beaver nuggets.
Yeah. What's funny to me is that Scott Snyder is sending it to you because we gave him our extra bag of beaver nuggets when I saw him after coming back from Yellowstone.
Beaver nuggets are some sort of sweet, like coated popcorn snack or something?
Yeah, it's like corn puff type things. It's like they're like almost like caramel corn.
Okay, from Bucky's rest stops. And Coury has been saying for weeks that they hopes that there just becomes like a never-ending flow of them to my PO box.
I mean, they're good. They're good.
I was going to try them on stream tonight, but
Willie, look at how pissed off he is.
USPS is not
Prepare yourself, Willie. I'm gonna get
It's
you.
not cooperating. Maybe next week. Or maybe I'll hold on to them for the next time you stream. One of those.
Yes.
Probably.
You just gotta be careful of how much you eat because you will sugar crash. I mean, they're very easy to eat a whole bunch of, but you will definitely sugar crash from it. Man. Can you imagine living here like this is like what your house is like?
Okay, Interclock says, try 4 devices. PS5, Xbox Series X, Retrode 4K, PC.
There you go.
I need a 5th gen Apple TV built-in. Well, okay, but that's 5 devices, Interclock. You're cheating.
What? You can have 5. A lot of them have 5. A lot of them have 5.
TVs have 5 inputs?
Oh, 5 inputs on the TV. I thought you meant on the end switcher.
But yeah, I mean, you know, that could work. But still, you know, if you wanted to like stream, like if you wanted to stream with those devices, like you still have to come up with some sort of switcher setup. You know, unless you wanted to be swapping HDMI cables on your capture card. I mean, you could, in theory, use the pass-through on the capture card, but that's annoying because then your computer has to be on to use all those devices.
Right. Jeez.
I mean, but yeah, if you were a normal person that doesn't stream, doesn't record, like you could easily get by with it. Oh, your Retrode 4K feeds the capture card, but then you're not going to be streaming PS5 or Series X.
Yeah, but most people that stream are probably just like
Focused on one system.
Yeah. I mean, like our dilemmas are like so very, very far outside of like the realm of like what most people need or people do.
But yet, it is where I have naturally ended up.
Yes.
like my natural inclinations are, I want to use all these things.
Right, but I mean, you technically could just like swap like inputs like if you needed to, like from week to week. I mean, if it's just happening one week,
you're gonna be running down your. I mean, I've heard like Xbox.
I would just
Series
like have
X.
an extension then.
I mean, I've heard Xbox Series X, like, you know, I'm plugging in the HDMI. You know, it's not the most durable HDMI.
Well, that's why I keep a little pigtail for. I mean, that one I just needed like a little extension. But if I was doing that a lot, I would just like leave a little pigtail on each one.
That's also not a normal person product.
Right. But that's also like a lot of people are not looking to stream every system ever. But I don't know. Like I do think about like it's like, oh, I've perhaps gotten too far, but a lot of times it's not even about like it's not about actually it being usable. I mean, it's
not about being practical,
right? But I feel like it's more just I just like to
not
see
about
if I
being
can
practical for the average person.
Like it's almost more fun to me just to see if I can achieve it.
Yes. And for HDMI 2.0, you've pretty well achieved it.
Yes.
And HDMI 2.1 is a mistake.
I mean, that's seems to be the. I mean, that's how I feel for sure. I mean, I'll wait for as long as I can. I think it's stupid to just call it HDMI 2.1. People will see that and be like, well, I'm just going to wait for HDMI 3.0 then. That's even going to happen.
I mean,
there he is.
HDMI HDMI was on 1.4 for a long time.
Yeah.
A long time.
And it was on HDMI 2.0 for a long time too.
And then it was like 1.4A.
He just shot a Bobo in the back. You want to know why?
That's pretty funny.
Why Willie is like in control? It's not because he's the only guy in town with a gun. That's the only reason why he's like in the position of power that he is.
There was a $5 super chat from Matthew. Thank you. Saying, I'm ready for a real new Nintendo console announcement already. Did some maintenance on my Honda Element this week. Was a pain, but it's running great. Yeah, I am also ready for that new Nintendo console. Please do not be the new Nintendo Switch.
There's no, if they do that.
There's no way. Surely they are too self-aware to do that. I am also ready for this. Considering I very likely am holding off on playing Echoes of Wisdom until that's out. Yeah. Fingers crossed, though, on actually having increased, allowing original Switch games to tap into the extra power. There's no reason for them not to do that.
Yeah, at least to.
But they've never done it.
Yeah, but I think that things are a little bit different though this time.
I think so. Because it's the first. Well, it's not the first time that they've had like such a direct successor hardware, because that was the GameCube to the Wii. But the power difference was not what we're expecting this time. Yeah. Pretty narrow power difference, and GameCube games just run. As far as I know, I am not aware of any examples of GameCube games behaving strangely on a Wii, or any different than they do on a GameCube. I think for that transition, it made sense to be exactly the same. But nowadays, I think you really want to be able to tap into that extra power.
Yeah. It's Gail Salamanca. It's the PR person. Gail Salamanca.
I mean, Stefan saying Game Boy to Game Boy Color, DS to 3DS to new 3DS. Nintendo did do it before, but you weren't able to. Old games don't run better on a Game Boy Color, unless like Wario Land 2 allowed the double speed mode. The Black Cart version of Wario Land 2, so you do have less slowdown in that version, but just regular gray carts and a lot of black carts just use the regular legacy CPU speed mode, and they do it because in part because I believe battery life is better. And like as far as I know, like new 3DS, like no regular 3DS games can use the extra power. Although I think you can if you're using custom firmware, I think. But I'm talking about improved performance on successor hardware, which like Xbox does right now, like PS4 to PS5 does right now.
Is that what we're expecting as like a PS4 Pro equivalent?
Well, I mean, I think we're expecting a new generation. Oh, you mean in terms of the hardware? Like how powerful is Switch 2 going to be?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be hard, I think, to pinpoint exactly what it'll be because, you know, I mean, people have been saying like, oh, it's probably going to be like PS4 level, but it's also, you know, it's going to have more advanced GPU features than PS4 would have had, you know, because you're going to most likely have DLSS or, you know, some Nintendo version of it because it is on NVIDIA hardware, you know, so, you know, maybe you can do more than you could on a PS4. You know, it's hard to say, but I mean, you know, PS4 Pro might be a vague, you know, but it's still hard to say because the question is, okay, the chip might be capable of this, but what is Nintendo actually going to allow the clocks to be? Because the Switch 1 is pretty Switch 1 is pretty you know, it's capable of significant overclocking because Nintendo has low clocks on it.
Yeah. All right. So I finished that.
Do SkyGunner.
Yeah, I gotta buy it. Okay, hang on.
Dingle Jingle says Hyrule Warriors Legends runs better on new 3DS, but it is a new 3DS enhanced game, isn't it? Like, I have actually the only reason I even bought it. Where is it? Pilot Wings got in the wrong place here. Here, I have. Or wait, no, that's Fire Emblem Awakening. Here it is. I have Fire Emblem Warriors, and the only reason I got this is because it was on clearance. It was really cheap. Oh, excuse me. This is only for new 3DS. Only for new 3DS. I bought this just because I was like, oh, well, just good to have at least one example of a only for game. But yeah, so it is 3DS enhanced. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about games that were not built with the enhanced system in mind. Make sure that no payment info is going to come up on stream.
Yeah, I was just looking at my widgets.
I need to fix this problem right now because for some reason Pilot Wings is wedged between Dragon Quest 7 and Dragon Quest 8, and that ain't where Pilot Wings belongs. I'm fixing it right now.
You just saw it like out of the corner of your eye, and you were like, I gotta fix this.
Well, I was looking at my 3DS games.
Oh.
I'm fixing it.
Oh, where is that? Like, I'm looking for that.
Why the heck did Pilot Wings end up between Dragon Quest 7 and Dragon Quest 8? Whoa.
What?
I hit keyboard keys as I got up, and like there's this huge page that popped up saying keyboard shortcuts for YouTube, I guess. Wow, this is weird, messy page.
I mean, $10 for this is pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. I should get that. There was a $2 super chat from Dad1153. Thank you, saying play the Double Dragon Neo Geo Brawler. Alyssa Milano for the win. Does that have like digitized actors or something?
No, but Alyssa Milano was in the Double Dragon movie, I think.
Oh, okay, I've never seen that.
So maybe it has something to do with that.
I think I don't know if I've seen the Neo Geo Double Dragon game. Yeah, there was I enjoy this name. I wonder if this user is the owner of said business. Two Canadian from Beanpot Pub and Parlor.
Bean Pop. Oh,
Bean Pop Pub and Parlor. Saying new Super Ultra Nintendo Switch 2 XLI. Please do not be called that. Just be called Nintendo Switch 2.
I could see them being the Switch XL. Not really.
I think they need to just do the number 2, because this is what people are used to these days. People are used to, iPhone 11, iPhone 12, iPhone 13, iPhone, they're used to, and they're also used to
not downloading anything here.
Different manufacturers, Android phones, they're on different numbers, and like no one is being self-conscious about being a number behind a competitor like Microsoft was when the 360 launched. They couldn't call it the Xbox 2. They had to be the Xbox 360. And then they went back and owned it way too hard. They're like, you know what? We'll never catch up to Sony with numbers. So let's be the Xbox One. Oh, Microsoft is so bad at names.
Yep.
Sega is the only manufacturer that has been particularly good at names. Really. Really. Like, well, I mean, PlayStation is a good name. PlayStation's a good name.
Yeah. And I can understand like why they would just want to stick with that.
They just stuck with it. They just stuck with it.
It's smart to stick with it, I think.
They just stuck with it. So Sony played it safe, but they did a good job.
Yeah.
But in terms of companies that like don't just do the numbers thing, Sega is the only one that has ever really been good with their system names.
Really quick, I do want to mention it because I don't know if I've not been able to say it really. Thursday was kind of a wild day in that both the Atari 50 DLC, and the Worms Armageddon Anniversary Edition came out on the same day. And I worked on both of those games. I edited the video interviews on both of those games.
That is crazy.
And yeah, it's funny that they both came out on the same day. There's another Atari 50 DLC coming in October, or maybe November it's coming. And I did the videos on that too.
So wait, before you boot this up, we gotta look up the button combo for the 240p mode.
Well, I've already started it, but I will. I hate that it just says enhancements on or off. They don't tell you what they do. I personally like the English.
What the heck is this website?
What?
Is there actually information? Oh, okay.
It's been a long time since I played this, so I won't be particularly good at it.
Well, that's a really cool title scene.
Oh, the intro movie. So have you really played this?
No, I've never booted it. I've only seen your video.
Oh, okay. Just a great soundtrack too. Yeah. So it's the mode I think is like the processing mode, and it's question marked out here, so it still is available in the game.
What? I wonder if they modified it so that you just can't access it.
Nice to meet you.
I don't know. I'm just gonna do the defaults because it's been so long.
I mean, it's hard to tell just looking at it on a stream, but it does look like it's running at the original resolution.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be curious because in 40p, like it slows down a bunch.
Uh-huh.
Nice to meet you.
So if you can't access 240p at all,
I'm sure that I don't think that they would remove that.
oh, would they allow you to would the emulator allow extra performance just for 480i then?
I don't know. I mean, the game slows down a ton in 480i. That's why it has that 240p mode.
That's why it has it. Anyway.
Sorry, hold on a second.
But I'll be able to get an idea like pretty quick here.
Shoot down the hangar door. Is this standard protocol? Why are you shooting down the hangar door? I don't get it.
Because she's trying to get out of she's trying to launch her ship, but it's like malfunction. She can't get out.
I mean, I thought you were just doing a tutorial. Oh, but I guess according to this guy, there are enemies.
Such a good game. The great this
Are you
really this music on the first level here. It was in a demo that I played of this game, and I was like, oh, this is immediately like struck a chord with me.
There's so many of them. Let me give you a hand.
Yeah, we can handle him.
And I like the English voiceover in this.
But if we cooperate, we can do it faster. All right, then let's start with the ones closest to the Marveille.
Yeah, I do like the character art style of this game. It's simple but appealing. I mean, so far, it looks pretty smooth.
Yeah.
Would this already be slowing down on PS2?
No. Let's see if I can do it. Like, I gotta get real close to use my firework bombs or missiles. Oh, no, I mean...
Ultar says, this game genuinely is making me feel good. It makes me want to be a good person.
Yeah, okay, so, like, here's where we'll see.
Very
Like,
inspired.
dude, it's like, it's not slowing down. It's not slowing down.
Well, that's pretty cool.
That's really cool. I mean, usually, like these firework missiles, like you see how that's all the colors and stuff. Like that usually makes the game chug.
Are there like screen modes like on the system level? Like I saw you had some setup options.
Yeah, it's like they're stupid. There's like modern, it's like makes it a little darker. Arcade classic, which is scan lines.
What?
No, like they're all stupid.
I don't get it.
Exactly.
I do not get it.
There's just enhancements.
But what I'm wondering is, see, I mean, you know, a lot of PS2 games do draw all the lines. However, you know, I mean, you can't integer scale 480p and have it fill the screen unless they're doing like what I'm wondering is, can you pre-scale it? I'm guessing not.
You mean this? I mean, I feel like this looks pretty darn good.
Oh, I'm sure, but I if you wanted to take it to the next level and retro think it up, I'm guessing no. Do you know if this is also for the PS4?
Yeah.
Because I thought some of the newer emulated stuff was only PS5. Or
Yeah, it's not slowing down. Like that's kind of huge, I think.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the game like really chugs on the PS2, and that's why it has it.
He's playing this on PS5. That's why we're noting that it has no slowdown.
Yeah.
He expects to have on PS5.
I mean, it like really slows down, and it works really well for that, even though it might be not ideal. Like I feel the game is kind of cinematic in the way that the way it uses camera angles and the way that it locks on. You see how it's just like it's just inherently cinematic looking. So like the slowdown like actually works for it. But that was something that when it came out, like it was like kind of a deal breaker for a lot of people. So I can't believe that it's like that. And that's why they added the processing to 40p.
Yeah. Game of Nostalgia, I tested RoboCop, but I have not started.
Yeah, if anybody here has never seen the video I did on it, check it out.
Certain says, I wonder if PSSR can be applied to these PS Classics and meaningful way. I don't know. Like, I don't know if it relies on like a camera jitter to some extent. Probably. In which case, it might be hard to integrate. It probably also caused problems with the HUD and stuff. I'm guessing no. Oh, Stefan says it works on PS4, but not very well. For example, I can't play with enhancements on without slowdown or stuttering, which are disabled on PS4. So,
wait, in this one?
But when you're saying stuttering and slowdown, I wonder if that's just the same slowdown that would happen on actual PS2, or if it's something, or if it's really the emulator just not being able to keep up on PS2. But see, I actually like this, like not rendering in high resolution. Like that, this is. I think classic games have a more cohesive look. I mean, it can be done very well. It can be done well, but with emulation, it's very difficult because you're usually still have the original 2D assets. They're if you redo the 2D stuff, the HUD stuff in HD, and then render the game in high res, it can work, especially if you can push out the level of detail. But if you can't do that, I think the older games tend to look best. Man, I don't know if this has been the case for a while, or not. But I kind of feel like the PlayStation Store is becoming just as bad as the Wii Shop, just in terms of just like being overloaded with shovelware.
Yep. Like,
is that new or like is some standard changed or something? Because what I started noticing, like I like every now and then, both on the Switch and the PS5, and it's a little hard to find for me on Xbox. But, I like to look and just see like, hey, are there any new demos? Like,
Yeah.
Because, it was really hard to find demos for a long time on PS5. And they still don't always update. Like, they did add sometime over the years a section on the PlayStation Store tab for demos, but not everything has a demo. Like, for instance, I had to search for Romancing Saga 2 and Metaphor ReFantasia because their demos did not appear in the demos section. I had to search for their game page and then click on the ... which took me to the demo. But there is a demos tab, and it used to, very rarely get new games out. You'd see new games with demos on Switch a lot more often, and a lot of them are just like, some of them do trend in the shovelware direction. But this is where I start noticing it, like that demos tab on the PS5 store. Like, man, it's got some serious shovelware stuff. Type stuff in the demo section. I mean, perhaps I shouldn't judge. These are games I've not downloaded.
Yeah, but I mean, it's probably all.
They look like real shovelware.
Well, it's like all like AI developed stuff. Like probably just like a million like hentai something. Everything is like hentai something or other.
But yeah, like Sony like had a reputation for like being a little pickier than Nintendo. And now like they are definitely playing a lot of shovelware. I to be honest, I'm not sure if Xbox is quite the same or not. I mean, my experience with trailer making, I've never had direct interaction with Nintendo or Sony or Microsoft or Steam, but like just the feedback that gets funneled back to me, Microsoft actually tends to be pickiest in terms of making sure that their standards and specifications are met with the trailer that they put on their storefront. So they're more likely to get you over something that is not to a certain specification than Nintendo or Sony.
Skipping the cutscenes. I
don't know if there's a lot more checks that have to go through on the Xbox side, or
so like
whether it's true or not, people say people don't buy stuff on Xbox, they just use Game Pass. Whether that's quite right or not, I can believe it. Apparently for a lot of indie devs, like unless they have a Game Pass deal, like the sales are just too low on Xbox to justify it. So because the audience is conditioned to subscribe, not buy. Although, did you hear about that California thing?
No.
Apparently, some law was just passed in California that would require digital storefronts to clarify that you are not purchasing a digital product. So it'll be very interesting to see if that has an impact on either A, the language used on digital storefronts, or B, actually giving you more rights over the products. The clouds look so cool.
I cannot believe that it doesn't slow down. Like I think it's so cool that it is just.
You're just gonna play through this whole game tomorrow.
It's been a long time. Done. When I was doing that video, like I had never really figured out the scoring mechanic until I did that video on it, and I got pretty good at it at the end.
Yeah. It's
kind of nice because I was kind of forced to dig into it, like the other characters and stuff, a lot more than I had previously ever done. And I got pretty good at it for a little while there. I remember none of it. I mean, it's a great game, and it is so cool that this is available for people, and that it has everything intact. Like it has all the voices and everything. That they didn't have to remove anything.
Is there a good well, actually, it's kind of surprising. I'm looking at the SkyGunner page on the PlayStation Store website, and they're including you, there's 5 people on my friends list who play it. So
Yeah.
people have been buying it. That's
Yeah.
nice.
I mean, that should send the message, you know? Like, this is like the kind of games that they should be doing.
Absolutely.
But you can see how, when you see those fireworks and stuff, you can really see how those could possibly make the game chuck. Because there's a lot going on in the game. It feels pretty ambitious.
Absolutely.
But usually when you just fly through the fireworks is when it'd slow way down. I don't know if I can import. Is it possible to import your saves? Probably not. Especially since the PS5 version, you can't even look at your save file. You can't even back it up.
Find out if there's like an easy view of let's see, maybe this. I'm trying to see if there's like an easy view of all the PS2 classics on the store.
Are you like on the website, or are you?
Yeah, I'm on the website. But I don't know, maybe not.
This game is Falcon Punch. This is SkyGunner.
And it's a PS2 game, and it just came out on PS4 and PS5. And looks like where the game has slowdown on PS2 is not happening on PS5. Which is
Yep.
pretty neat.
Will you look around to see if you can find a place that has that code, though? You can probably see it on Game Packs.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Unlock variable/uniform processing mode. To unlock variable/uniform processing mode, input the following command on the title screen. Up, triangle, left, circle, down, X, right, square. Okay, so you can do it from the title screen.
Okay. So,
After you finish this fight, you should check it out.
yeah.
Variable/uniform processing mode. That reminds me of the Ease 3 Sega Genesis instruction manual that tries to describe the interlaced mode.
Oh, what is it? Yeah, what does it call it?
It says it jiggles the screen.
Yes. Which, you know, for when that came out, like it makes total sense, because that's like what it looks like it's doing.
I'm gonna see if I can find. Can I find the PDF? Here we go. Let's see. What page would it be on? Jiggles the screen.
Jiggles the screen.
Oh, here we go. Int mode.
Yeah.
This jiggles the screen to get a clear message indication. It is not usually necessary to use this mode.
To get a clear indication.
To get a, this jiggles the screen to get a clear message indication.
It's like, what?
Michael MC says you guys should play co-op games. Well, you should watch the Backloggery streams.
Yeah, we don't live close enough to each other to be able to do that. Although it's happened before.
We did, yeah. I mean, we sometimes do co-op in person. And we did like It Takes Two, but that was kind of like a special stream.
Yeah.
Like for our general streams, like we like to have one person rambling and one person playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Backloggery streams are very often co-op streams, although not for the next while, because we're doing Spookums season, which is going to be it's going to be I started Fatal Frames 4 last week.
Oh, you're gonna.
We're hoping that's going to be 4 weeks. It needs to be 4 weeks. I mean, we'll do a bonus stream if it's going to be more. And then after that will be 2 weeks of Drum doing Resident Evil 3 remake. And then I think on Halloween, I think I'm going to do Separate Ways in the RE4 remake.
Oh.
I totally forgot I hadn't done that yet.
Some more of my cross missiles here. Not the chompers.
Just load this up on Steam Deck. No slowdown there either. I assume that's using PCSX2. Oh, the next co-op is Cloud's Quake 2 directorship? What week is that? I'm gonna look up live.backloggery.com so I can find out. Oh, November 11th.
Can't believe it's October. Almost October already.
Yeah. Also going to play Mortal Kombat 2, or excuse me, I'm reading the 1-1 as a numeral 2. Mortal Kombat 11 in December.
Oh, cool. You gonna do the?
Well, I'll have done 9, 10, and 11 this year.
Wow.
And then I'll wait for them to make like a complete version of Mortal
Yeah, because the
Kombat
DLC for
1.
1 just came out.
Yeah. Yeah, because Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath, which apparently have you done?
Yeah.
Have you done Mortal Kombat 1 yet?
No, I'll wait for the.
Okay, because Drum and Lynn tell me that the Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath story is important for Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I mean it sets up.
Okay, so I wasn't sure if you had played.
Yes.
Okay, because we have that scheduled on a. There's like a gap in the schedule, and then Mortal Kombat 11. Man, looking at this, it's like, man, there's like not that many stream weeks left in the year in some ways.
I know. Before we know it, we're going to be working on the year-end video.
Oh my gosh. I need to beat more games. Well, now that I got God of War Ragnarok mostly out of my system, I mean, I still kind of want to play a little more of the, because I mean, there is a story with it. So I kind of want to play more of the Valhalla roguelite mode. It's pretty fun. I played like 3 runs, I guess, before the stream. Like, depending on how long it takes to get through the story of that, like, I'd like to finish that, but other than that, like, I'm thinking well, the other thing I want to do is I want to finish Select, which I started on stream a couple of months ago at this point. But that should be pretty short.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's probably only like 5 hours gameplay left on that, probably 5 or 6 maybe, based on what I know.
I feel like I would like to finish Landstalker at least before the end of the year. I mean, it's going to be tough because, you know, Ys 10 is out, is at the end of this month, but I'm definitely going to play Silent Hill 2 in October. I mean, we had talked about perhaps like just playing that and then playing the remake right afterwards.
All right, that could be interesting.
Come on.
But yeah, I'm thinking. Once I see if I want to play more of that God of War Valhalla mode, and if I want to, I definitely want to finish Slacker. After that, then like I think I want to do like Doom 2016. Mr. Do is saying finish D2 try. Well, I mean I haven't even started D2. That's a good. I should make it a point to do D2 in October. I should do that. Yes. Then maybe Sekiro. I would feel good about getting a long one.
Yeah.
Like that's probably the biggest, like both long and challenging. Like, there's of course Trails of Cold Steel, but that's just long. I mean, it might be hard, but I'm mostly concerned about the length on Trails of Cold Steel. Well, I'm not necessarily looking to knock out one of the long games.
Okay. How do I do the?
I just was in the mood for Sekiro.
How do I do the 240p mode?
Okay, title screen. Can you get back to the title screen?
Yeah.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
Up, triangle, left, circle, down, X, right, square.
All right. I heard the noise.
Oh, man.
Here we go.
We're going to make the screen no longer jiggle.
That's it. Okay.
I assume uniform processing must mean more consistent frame rate. And thus 240p.
Yeah, because if you go to variable, you can kind of see the interlacing, like on the numbers counting up.
Oh, does it? So is this emulator actually deinterlacing?
I mean, you can see a little bit of the deinterlacing happening, but if I set it to this mode, it doesn't seem like it's doing anything different. So config processing.
Stefan is saying, FYI, if you play Astrobot just to finish the game, no bonus levels other than getting the required bots, you can get to the end in about 4 hours. We both platinumed it. we did not do the bare minimum in
yeah.
And that.
Oh, this almost looks like it's running slower.
Yes, that's absolutely my intent.
This almost looks like it's running slower. It's definitely running slower in the uniform mode.
of science.
What the heck?
It's like running at a lower frame rate. Look, it's like running at 30 FPS now. It looks like.
Well, is that what happens in the original? Does it just lock it to 30? 240p 30?
I don't think so.
Just to make it consistent?
Does the 240p lock it? Maybe it does.
You just...
I don't remember. I mean, I could boot up my original and see what it's like.
Yeah, you should.
I just thought it was 240p, so it doesn't like slow down.
Right. But is it 240p? Does it look 240p?
I mean, it doesn't look any different to me. It almost looks like it's just running at a worse frame rate, and that's it.
Henry Clark says, I found an old review talking about locking at 30 FPS. Maybe that is. I am curious to look at the original. This is surprising.
Okay, well let's check it out. Hang on, give me a minute.
Let's do it. You know, I am thinking I might buy this game right now. I've got the PlayStation app on my phone here. SkyGunner. Add to cart. Upgrade your PlayStation Plus plan today. No, thank you. Confirm purchase. Heck yeah. I have bought SkyGunner. Now I need to add to my back library. Although I have the Japanese version on here. Which one did you load?
Did I? Right.
Are you there? I can't hear you.
I'm here. Sorry, I was just trying to remember which profile I usually use.
Yeah, DAR 4.3 sharp is the way to go. Did you put that a Silent Hill 2 profile I gave you on there?
Not yet.
That's probably actually works pretty well for most games, I bet. But I just tuned it based on that in particular. Let's see. Do I need? Let's see. Do I have? I assume I have the Japanese version marked as unfinished. Yes, so I will add this one with no status to PlayStation 5 format digital.
Whoa.
Done.
The sound's all jacked up.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you install the new firmware update that fixed the 480i issue?
Yeah.
Okay.
But there was the one that came out earlier too. I'm just gonna restart it. I don't know why it's being weird.
I don't know if you heard while you were up, but I just bought SkyGunner for PS5.
What's going on here? Yeah, like the sound's all jacked up. Could it be my system?
The 480i issue, I think, was only over RGB video. I think it was. If anyone remembers, Coury was playing some PS1 stuff a few weeks ago, and whenever the the system boot up was up, it was like acting real. The interlacing was just, it was acting weird. And there was, for I believe, a brief time, a bug in the firmware.
This is so weird. Like the sound is all jacked up. It's like
how?
I don't know.
Like, is it,
I don't know.
but like in what way?
I can't explain it. It's like lower. It was like lower pitched. It's like, what is going on here?
Does the system menu sound that way?
Yes.
Well, that's weird. I mean, I was just playing PS2 the other night on the newest firmware, and it was fine. While I was recording some Silent Hill 2. It was great. I was actually really impressed because
It's like in slow motion. Like the audio is like in slow motion. I can't even explain it.
wow. The
And it's like the pitch is all wrong. It sounds like a guy singing this song.
weird. But the reverse tutu telecine or whatever you call it feature works like shockingly well with Silent Hill 2. I don't really know how the detection on that works, but I thought that like the noise in that game, like the really heavy noise effect, would screw with it. But it looks awesome.
Yeah. I need to figure this out.
Inverse telecine or reverse telecine. I think it's called inverse. Whatever it's
Yeah, let me
called.
see if it's. It might be. Let me see if it's just not. No, it's coming. I'm listening to my mixer. It's not.
What the inverse telecine does on the RetroTink is for 480i games that run at 30 frames per second. It has to be a game that targets 30 frames per second and it outputs 480i.
Yeah, no, it's like on the game.
But you said it. So it's coming out.
It's coming out.
Can you?
Let me check the. Let me check the. CRT. Hang on.
Anyway, what it does is it stitches together the two fields into a progressive frame. And it's pretty darned impressive. It doesn't work for 60 FPS games because the fields are from different frames. But if it's a 30 FPS game, like Silent Hill 2, and it detects that consecutive fields are from the same frame, it makes it a 480p frame. It's kind of awesome. So it was actually the first time I'd used it much since the feature was in beta, where it was like kind of like, but I was really impressed. Anyway,
so it's definitely the scaler that's doing this, because it's fine coming out of the TV or out of the CRT.
Try rebooting the RetroTink?
I did, but let me let me power it off, power it back on. Or, I mean, just like pull the plug out.
That's bizarre. N64 was released 28 years ago today. Wow. Jiggle mode audio.
I mean, it's weird. I can always roll back the firmware because 1.6 came out. I feel like I installed that yesterday.
Let me. What was the firmware I installed?
No, it's still jacked up. Let me.
I have 1. I did 1.58.
Okay, well, let me get.
Here,
I have
I'll drop-
I have 1.58 also. Let me just install that, see if that fixes it.
Wow, he must have been doing some very recent updates because yeah, I guess he has done, because I was recording this like I was doing like Wednesday maybe. I installed 1.58. You're using component for 480i, right?
Correct.
It sounds like something. It sounds like he's been working on interlace stuff in RGB HV mode. And 1.59 says reconciled various sync adjustments for 480i, 576i, and 1080i on RGB
Hang on,
HV.
I'm gonna run the firmware.
Fixed various collateral damage due to accommodating interlaced video and RGB HV. So there might have been some collateral damage, is what he's saying, and adding that feature. I wonder if this could be something else that he still needs to fix. But it was fine on 1.58. Or actually 1.5.8, I guess, is how it's numbered here. You're only supposed to jiggle the screen, not the audio. Yeah, do not jiggle the audio for a clear message indication.
So it's still screwed up. So let me reboot my switcher or something like that.
I feel like it's something. It's an HDMI handshake issue, I think. No, I don't think another, because he said the PS2 menu boot up sounded weird too. Aldewiz says, is the Framemaster still the best way to play PS2 games, or is there something new? The best way to play is the Retrode 4K, which is what Corey's having problems with. Well, we don't know if that's. I don't think it's actually that's the problem specifically. It's probably something else in your setup that's just like interpreting the audio wrong. Yeah, the Retrode 4K does excellent deinterlacing, and also the reverse or inverse telecine or whatever is also a very impressive feature.
I'm just thinking about what it could possibly be. This is like so anticlimactic.
Can you try another system that would be 480i and see if it sounds weird? Or maybe it's not 480i, or maybe it's the profile. Did you try?
I tried other profiles. It's like happening with everything. It's got to be.
Can we have Sandy while Corey fixes this? Sandy, do you want to entertain the folks while Corey fixes stuff? Come here. Come here. Let's be entertaining. Come here. Sandy, come here. Sandy, come here. Yes. Yes, Sandy.
Well, now it's just like not giving me anything on the screen.
Oh. Sandy be entertaining?
Okay, hang on.
PS2 does not natively support RF, but I mean, you can buy an RF adapter for it that would, pull composite video. I mean, it's the same deal with, N64, Super Nintendo, Junior,
No.
GameCube. They don't natively generate an RF signal, but they did sell official RF adapters.
No, it's still like coming out of the.
You're not using Toslink on the PS2?
No.
Yeah.
Well, is this gonna? It's just such
Oh yeah, Red Panda says, "Don't you have a retro gym? Can you try the HDMI output?"
I can.
Is it the same system?
Yes. But I mean, it was just.
I wonder if that could that be what's that be what's screwing it up? Could it be?
It was. I used the system like just the other day.
Right, but what I mean is, like, could it be that it's in like a different, like the retro gym is like overriding like the audio mode or something
I
like
could
that?
always, instead of just using the tank, I could just use the gem. The gem. Hang on, I didn't even think about that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering though, is the way that it samples the audio to digital screwing up the analog audio output?
Like, is it just with this game, I wonder?
Well, no, because you said the system menu sounded funny too, right?
Yeah. Okay, so it's fine on the gem. Then again, it's fine.
I wonder if you unplugged the HDMI from the retro gem, if the audio would sound correct over analog, because the NES or the
to be fair, I haven't updated the retro gems firmware in a super long time, so maybe I should just do a firmware update on it.
Yeah, why not? Yeah,
I'll do that real quick.
Oh, there was
Sorry.
a $2 super chat from Chungo saying Ace thinks it might be struggling with 96 kilohertz. Maybe you had 96 kilohertz turned on the retro gem? Or could it be 96 kilohertz? Could you have set up 96 kilohertz output from the retro tank?
Maybe. Let me switch back to that 1.6 firmware. Hang on.
1.6?
Well, I'm waiting for this to update.
Why 1.6? Yeah, I mean that sounds like it could potentially like an upsampling. Oh, sorry, Chungo. I didn't see is it issue with RCA or Toslink audio? It was with RCA audio. Well, I was wondering if like some setting set on the gem could be screwing up the analog output, but maybe it was because he was using the I don't know if the wobbling pixels profile has like nice
on the Tink, would that? I don't know why it would default to 96 kilohertz.
Well, it would be if the wobbling pixels profile is set up that way.
But it was doing it on the base profile that I have too.
Do you have 96 kilohertz set on that?
I don't recall ever having done that. All right. I mean, it's never been a problem. Let me just like install this firmware, see if this fixes it. But we can always use the gem here anyways to check it.
Yeah, to do what we're trying to do ultimately, but still curious what the issue was. Something in your setup is not liking something.
Yeah, but it was recently like totally fine. And I mean, I don't think that the gem effects should not affect the analog output.
You would think, but like the what I was trying to say earlier was that the high def NES, if you have an HDMI cable plugged in, then the analog output's like all screwed up.
With what?
With the high def NES.
Oh.
It's actually, I remember it being kind of trippy, actually. It was actually kind of cool. I don't remember exactly what it did, but it was something a little funky. Apparently the gem does not touch analog output, the analog output on video or audio, which I wouldn't expect.
Yeah, same here.
I wouldn't expect, but
okay, let me just switch over, and then if we'll just use the gem.
We're just throwing ideas at the wall and seeing what the problem. See what sticks was the problem. Don't know.
Well, what's weird is like I'm not even getting a picture from it now.
Oh, really?
Really?
From YPVPR?
Like I'm not even getting the menu's not even coming up. Like I'm getting nothing. I ain't getting anything. I'll try a different system.
Even the beauty of the HDMI 2.0 setup, the simplicity of it versus my HDMI 2.1.
What's that?
I said even the simplicity of your HDMI 2.0 setup versus my HDMI 2.1 isn't enough to stop something from being a problem.
That's correct. Oh. RGB is messed up too, but I'm not getting any image. Like, did my GBA consolizer like did Double Dragon Advance kill kill my retro tank?
Surely not.
Surely not.
Well, why don't you play the game through the Retro Gem and troubleshoot your other issues after the stream at this point?
Yes. That's disconcerting though.
Disconcerting. It is disconcerting. You gonna jump down, Sandy?
All right. Use the retro gym. Okay. Okay, so you can see the difference here when I switch to 240p mode. I mean, I could do like, let me just do like a time attack. No, this is 60 FPS
in 240p.
Yeah.
Huh. By the way, there's still like almost 400 people watching us, despite all of this. Just like, you know, all this junk.
Oh, but then you get into the game. Okay, so 563. But now, it's like it's not. It was 60 FPS before, but now it's not.
Can
Wait.
you? Does it like go back and forth between 60 and 30 during gameplay, or like I'm wondering if it's a double buffer VSync thing, or if it's just like 60 FPS menus and 30 FPS game.
I don't know. But this is definitely not. So let me go back to the other mode. And then that way you can at least see like what the
screen jiggling does.
or what the well, you can kind of see what the slowdown is actually like.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I mean it's readily apparent right off the bat. Like watch, you'll see it right here.
Oh yeah.
But this isn't even like the worst of it.
Train wrecks are more fun to watch unfold than a regular stream. People do love watching setup streams. Man, you know, I've been kind of wondering about the futility of some of the things that I've done on my downstairs, because like my downstairs setup has been, you know, pretty stable for a while now, but there's like a few things that I've been putting off. Like I need to add an extra HDMI switcher.
That's what you just talked about, or is this like
That's what I just did. Like I've been putting it off. I needed to have another one in there, but I've been putting it off, and then I was having problems. But you know, so I need to sort it out and figure out if I can make that not be a problem. But like I'm also kind of like wondering of the futility of some of this, because I'm so worried that when the fiber internet becomes available, if I'm going to have to just unhook basically everything on that wall for them to run it in. It would be not great if that's the case.
Amazing. The controls, I have them like. Okay. So let me play that first level here.
Nice to meet you.
I mean, I could always. I guess I have like the old retro tank that I could always try. Like the
Retro Tank 5X?
No, the beta unit.
I'm ready to take off.
Like the
Yeah. I assume you have an older firmware on that.
yeah, I could easily just drop that SD card into it. But I mean, you look at this right here, and like that PS5 version, like looks better than this. I think, like totally.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to see it in person. That's why I bought it on the PlayStation Store.
Okay, so let's see if we got. Slow down. Oh. I gotta get to the part where the battleships show up.
Still think Tekken 5 is the best looking PS2 game in existence. I've probably never seen Tekken 5.
It's a really good looking game.
Well, I don't know what I would consider the best looking PS2 game.
And in a lot of ways, I would say that Tekken 3 is perhaps the best looking PS1 game too. I mean, that's like Namco was like at that during that time was like just on fire with everything. I think.
I mean, I love how like Metal Gear Solid 3 looks.
Yeah, I have like zero excitement for that remake of that. Like I have like.
I mean, I think it's pretty neat though how I mean, it's really just a visual remake for the most part. Like it's I think they're kind of taking the Blue Point approach of like the gameplay really isn't changed, but they're just giving in new visuals. I mean, I don't feel any excitement for it either, but I mean, I'd like to play it someday. But I think it's interesting that they're kind of sticking with the PS2 like animations and stuff. Like it like the characters move like they're in a PS2 game, which I think is kind of neat. Like they're standing true to the gameplay. I mean, the way that characters move in gameplay in Metal Gear, I feel has always had a very video gamey look to it versus how they move in cutscenes, which, you know, looks much more motion capture realistic. I mean, they might be using some kind of motion capture for gameplay as well. I'm not sure, but like there's always been like a very snappy motion in Metal Gear that like looks unrealistic, but supports the gameplay well.
Did you see the photo mode in Death Stranding 2?
I didn't. I saw like a low quality like Twitter embed, and it looked insane.
Yeah.
It looked completely bonkers. Like looking at it low resolution, like the way the characters were moving, like I thought it was video.
Yeah.
I thought it was real video. Like if I was like actually looking at it in full quality, it would probably look like a video game. But just looking at like Twitter embed quality, like I thought it was real video.
Yeah, no, I get it.
It looked completely nutty.
So this isn't slowing down as much as I thought it was going to right here, but maybe it's later on in the game where it slows down more. Because it slows down and right there. Yeah, you can see the slowdown right here, like real good. You can see it.
Oh yeah, there you go.
But you see it almost looks like like the resolution drops.
Yeah. I wonder if the resolution drop is. I wonder if what's happening is the interlacing actually is like. If like the interlaced field is being held is what it kind of looked like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So because it was slowing down, I kind of think that's what was happening.
Yeah. Okay. See right here, you can see it a ton with the.
I don't think it's dropping to I don't think it's dropping to 240p in turn. I mean, technically, I think the game is like it's kind of running at 240p all the time because I think it's field rendering.
Sounds like this might be a good. It might be a good thing for a DF Retro.
Yeah. This would be a great DF.
I mean, just like real simple too. I mean, just like a one game thing.
Yeah, just one game.
Yeah. Okay. So you can really see it. See what I mean, though? Like it doesn't ruin the game. I don't think. It makes it probably easier to play. in time.
I think it's just like I think it's screwing up the interlacing is what it's doing. It's like forcing it to like hold the field.
Yeah, the thing is like on the CRT, it's like not nearly as noticeable. You know what I mean? Like the slowdown is there, but like the how the graph like it becomes a lot chunkier looking. Like it doesn't look like that on the CRT.
UZ Rayburn says that's basically right. PS2 games often repeat fields when they drop frames. Well, and that's something that Joe Redifer complains about a lot. Like, I always feel like 480i looks really good on PS2, but he's always railing against 480i on PS2. And I think what bothers him is sometimes you do see that, like, usually you just see it once. Like, you just see, like, a real quick blip where, like, a field is repeated. But I feel like it usually happens just like on menus or something like that, or like when you first open up the menu or close the menu or something like that, you'll see like a brief bit of weird interlacing behavior, and it doesn't particularly bother me, but I think it bothers him a lot more. I don't notice it during gameplay typically. $2 super chat from Chungo again, saying, last question, what capture card is being used? I assume it's the AverMedia Live Gamer 4K, the first AverMedia Live Gamer 4K, right?
Yes. Yeah, the internal
the
one.
GC, the internal one. Yeah, the GC. I never remember.
I've never had problems with it before, so I don't know. Like I will, like when the stream is over, I'll try the other. I'll try the other. The beta retro tank 4K.
Yeah.
That I have.
Oh, no, we don't. We've never used Elgato. I mean, Elgato. I don't know if they've like gotten their act together, but like they used to really have problems with anything that was off spec. Like any like retro upscalers tended to not play well with Elgato stuff. Like the OSSC was definitely a no-no. I'm guessing there's people in a RetroTink chat somewhere trying to figure out
what's happening.
Trying to figure out what it is.
Well, sorry about that. Sorry to ruin your evenings.
What a character!
Well, no, they're probably. I bet Mike might be messaging you trying to track down a bug or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was just working. Like I was just using it with the.
You were playing PS2 on it the other day.
Yeah, but I was just
right?
I was just using it to upscale the GBA consolizer.
Right.
But
did you try other? You said RGB was screwed up. Was HDMI screwed up?
HDMI was fine. So I'm like looking at the stuff here, the bug discussion stuff on Discord. It's seen.
Mm-hmm.
Samsung TV goes silent with 96 kilohertz, but it's coming through my speakers too. John goes, sorry about that. Like I will keep an eye on this. You don't need to send any more super chats to get any attention, like to get my attention on it. I mean, it was going. The sound was going through my receiver, and it was still coming out jacked up, like from my stereo receiver.
So,
let me turn on, see if it.
I mean, you could also try connecting the RetroTink to just like directly to a TV without passing it through your receiver.
Yeah, hang on, I can do that. I can just look.
Troubleshooting the stream.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I get anything through the, like powering on the tank to see what happens. I know, and we're just.
Oh, I didn't realize it was already 10 past 11.
Yeah, that's why I won't waste like more people's evenings trying to figure this out. Okay, so I get a picture on the upscale thing. Let me just look at HDMI receiver sample rate. Let me see where. Turn the volume here. I'm just seeing if there's like if it's a 96 kilohertz.
But we live for this, Coury, says Mr. Do.
I mean, it's coming through my TV sounding like that.
Oh, it sounds like it on your TV.
Yeah.
Did you check the
No,
audio?
sample rate is set to 48.
Well, then that shouldn't be a problem.
If I set to 96 to get better. Oh, it's wrong remote. Okay, so 96 doesn't get any sound, and then 48 is jacked up.
Well, that's weird.
And if I hit 2, it sounds like it's like blown out almost. I can't quite explain it. It's definitely like RGB is jacked up. But what if I take HDMI?
Yeah, try HDMI.
Yeah, because it's just going to be receiving the gem, the retro gem.
Hidden gem. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's saying it to 48, not 44.1. Zane's dad remembers the hidden gems. The hidden gems. Man, that was that was so long ago when we were talking about doing that I remember it was while I was playing Xenoblade Chronicles X. I found an NPC named Jim. I recorded B-roll of talking to Jim just in case we did the Hidden Gems video. That's how long ago it was. It was Wii U days.
I might not hear anything over here now. I'm just trying to. It's always something, right?
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Okay, so if I power the sun. It's not giving me anything now. If I hit 1, is it fine if I hit 1?
That is true. A gem that is slim would have less of a hard time hiding than a gem that is less slim.
That's true.
Defeat the tow ship's defense forces. The tow ship doesn't sound like a particularly menacing ship.
No, it doesn't.
I kind of feel bad for the tow ship.
Well, it tows. It's towing you. You know what I mean? Like it's pulling behind it. I don't know what's going on. I am too scatterbrained to figure it out right now.
Sounds like a project for the morning, perhaps.
No, it sounds like a project like immediately after.
Immediately after and going to bed at 2 a.m.
Yes.
Hopefully not. Hopefully.
Unless the music has just stopped playing because. No, I'm not getting any audio at all.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. I'll let update everybody on the situation.
Update everyone.
Anyways, I think that'll do it.
That'll do.
Like, and the stream with like a bit of a wet fart like that. But you know what? We just discovered
people loved it.
The PS5 version is pretty darn good.
Yeah,
more than worth the money, I think, if you have an interest in playing this game, because it might be the best way to play the game.
I will immediately go downstairs after the stream and try it.
Yeah, you should. Anyways, thanks to everybody for donating, and look out for the setup tour. And now I'm gonna have to put a little asterisk saying like, "Oh, this doesn't work." It doesn't actually work anymore. Not really. Anyways, look for that. That video is this week. I don't know what day. I would love to be able to achieve releasing it on Tuesday, which is the 11th anniversary of the channel. But
wow,
11 years.
Wow.
Probably will not happen. But it's going to happen this week, one way or another.
Okay.
Anyways.
Looking forward.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. And we'll see you soon. Take care and good night.